Brata? Talaga? May ka talaga sa
Do you ever feel that little pressure in your heart
There is a great disturbance in the force.
for the people who walked with you when you were just starting to figure out this whole adulting thing? Maybe in a different city or a different chapter? That's why you're here to reminisce greatly on those invisible threads that still tie you together. Time to dust off those remember whens and revive the magic. Or maybe you're still pretending that you don't miss them. Nice try, Mama. Lola Reggie sees right through you. Either way, let's reconnect. So I'm gonna share with you the things we did even if you don't ask and even if we don't get tons of views. And it's starting right now. Before we continue though, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe, or follow to our socials and hit the bell icon so you're always notified whenever we drop fresh content. Everything has to start somewhere, and for us, the journey began with a bus ride to Tula Marine Airport. Since we live far from the airport, we had to rely on airport service providers like Gull. And while waiting for the bus, my hunger got the best of me and I devoured a pack of skyflakes to keep myself full. The ride was uneventful and after a short while, we finally arrived at the airport, ready to kick off our trip. The first stop, Macca's or McDonald's if you are not Australian. Because when you have limited food options in Melbourne before a flight, a quick burger is always a safe bet. Yummy. Since choices were scarce, Mama came prepared and she bought some hard-boiled eggs and bought me a cheeseburger. I couldn't help but laugh when she warned me about the inevitable eggy fart smell later. Mama, don't worry, if I catch a whiff of something suspicious, I'll know it's you, but I won't say a word. With our bellies full and our bags light, we were ready for the next step, boarding our flight. No unnecessary baggage, no stress, just us and our small luggages. With a faulty wheel, we made a conscious decision to skip check-in luggage. Companies, take a look at this. Why can't you make women's clothes like this, okay? Partly to avoid flight's extra fees, but mostly because we despise dragging around heavy bags. Who wants to deal with huge suitcases, long baggage drop lines, and the risk of lost luggage? Not us. Instead, we packed light, sticking to carry-ons, which made moving around so much easier. Oh, and also, so that we would dodge the check-in line. Not only that, since Mama doesn't like paying extra fees for her carry-on, yeah, most of the time these budget airlines are notorious on weighing even your carry-on, she strategically bought a jacket with lots of pockets, like big ones, so she could sneak in small items enough to stash all her little essentials. And she was clever enough to put books on my front tummy and on my back. We fit them in our backs. The things my mother will do to avoid paying things. Just make sure you can still walk comfortably, Mama. Mama, what does it feel, Mama?
Feels like good. Tingnan.
And we're here at the departure area. Entrance. We still can't see our boarding gate number, but anyways, we still need to be inside the terminal. While waiting, we were making this old TikTok trend, but I need to make twist about it. I just want to have other takes on it. So I came up with as if I don't like to be on this traveling, which was the exact opposite. I always want to be with Mama on the road. Boarding time! Okay, this is it. We're about to take off from Melbourne to Kuala Lumpur. Of course, I came prepared, puke bag in hand. You'll never know when turbulence will decide to turbulate, and I refuse to be caught off guard. Oh, no. If the sky gets bumpy, I'll be ready to blow my worries and maybe my dinner into this little paper savior who catches my natural wasteful instincts. I wish I can just get used to it. I want to get used to flying because we do it a lot. This one-way flight for 2 adults. Yep, adults. No more childfare discounts for me. cost us 607 Australian dollars. Melbourne to Manila with a layover in Kuala Lumpur. Mama's thrilled that I'm now a full-price passenger. Joking. But hey, that's the price of growing up. Also joking.
Chicken or beef?
This is what we love about AirAsia. It's so cheap to add extras. Mama, being the foodie that she is, loaded up on 2 main meals per person. She tried to order more, but the website didn't allow to order more than 2 meals per passenger. Speaking of food, the seatbelt sign just turned off, which means cabin crews were gearing up to serve. And that means mealtime is coming. And the meal trays arrive. She ordered the burhara chicken biryani along with a simple cup of coffee, just hot water mixed with coffee granules. Since she's cut out sugar, this was basically her version of an in-flight espresso. Meanwhile, I went for the prawn and chicken wonton noodles, keeping my expectations low since, well, it's plain food and it's a budget airline at that. But boy was I in for a surprise. The wonton noodles turned out to be way better than I anticipated. The prawns and chicken wonton were still tender, even after reheating. There was no rubbery texture here. The wontons held their shape perfectly, not falling apart into a mushy mess. For a cheap airline meal, it was seriously impressive. Now let's talk about Mama's meal, the burhara chicken biryani, one of AirAsia's signature dishes. The biryani had a nice mix of aromatic spices. The chicken was tender and well marinated, and the basmati rice stayed fluffy instead of turning soggy. But here's the catch, this biryani is not for the faint-hearted. Mama loves spicy food, but even she still can't tahan? Huh? What do you mean tahan?
Tahan, what does that mean?
I cannot stand.
Through the heat level of this biryani. But she powered through anyway, but I could still see the sweat forming on her forehead. If you can't handle serious spice, steer clear of this dish. Or if you don't want to spend a lot of time in the airplane toilets, then steer clear of this dish. I really wanted to finish my meal, but my motion sickness always makes me cautious about eating too much on a plane. Thank you, motion sickness. Now I can't stuff myself on a plane. Thankfully, Mama is always ready to save the meal. She happily finishes whatever I can't eat. So Mama takes it upon herself to clean this dish no matter what. And this wonton noodle was no exception. It was just too delicious to leave behind. Even reheated, the flavors held up, and Mama couldn't resist helping herself to the last bite. She gets an extra meal, and I get peace of mind, knowing nothing goes to waste, especially when the food is this tasty.
Darling, hold my hand.
Nothing beats a jet to your holiday. Charot. Next, Pak Nasser's nasi lemak. The coconut-infused rice is fragrant, though not as rich as traditional nasi lemak. And the tiny banana leaf tucked inside is a nostalgic touch. For Mama, who grew up in the rural Philippines where meals were often wrapped in banana leaves before plastic became common, this small detail instantly transported her back to childhood. There's something magical about food that unlocks deep memories, like that ratatouille moment.
Huh?
And this meal did just that. What's a dish that instantly takes you back to your past? Share your nostalgic food stories in the comments. We'd love to read them. Now back to the meal. The rice stays moist, but not soggy, thanks to the coconut milk, while the sambal belacan strikes the right balance. Sweet, spicy, and just fragrant enough with a hint of shrimp paste. It clings perfectly to the rice without being too watery or overwhelming. The anchovies add a salty punch, though they lose some crispiness in transit, and the peanuts bring a satisfying crunch. The boiled egg is basic, just a plain half-boiled egg, but it rounds out the dish well enough. Now that we're satisfied with our main dishes, time for dessert! I don't have a man. I don't have a man. If you're talking about my dad, then you've hit a new low. Let's move on to the star of the sweet finale. AirAsia Santan surprisingly offers an in-flight dessert option, the burnt cheesecake. Unlike typical mass-produced sweets, it avoids being overly sugary. The charred top adds a mild smokiness, balancing the sweetness, but it's not too sweet. It's a delightful way to end a meal mid-flight. If you're craving something sweet but not heavy, this is a solid pick. Just don't expect a huge slice. Would I order it again? Absolutely! Yeah, especially with a cup of coffee for my mother. Have you tried it? Let me know your thoughts down below. I guess AirAsia's Santan menu really knows how to deliver decent flavors even at 30,000 feet.
The next day.
We just landed in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and guess what we completely forgot to prepare? The Malaysia Digital Arrival Card, or the MDAC. In our excitement to pack light and avoid checked baggage fees, this little detail slipped through the cracks. While we were busy planning our itinerary, we didn't realize this digital requirement could slow us down at immigration. For those who don't know, like us apparently, the MDAC is a mandatory online form for foreign travelers, submitted before arrival. It's Malaysia's way of streamlining entry, but missing it means potential delays. And here we were, scrambling to connect to airport Wi-Fi, trying to fill it out last minute while the immigration line inched forward. You still think this is exciting? Do you still think the adrenaline rush of this is exciting? Do this at least 3 days before your flight. The form asks for basic details, passport info, flight number, and accommodation, and only takes minutes to complete. But when you're doing it last second, it was a nightmare and we learned our lesson. Thankfully, we got it sorted without major drama. But the moral of the story? Always triple check the entry requirements. That's right, I'm glaring at you, Mama. Just when we thought our travel hiccups were over, another mini crisis hit us like a plot twist in a sitcom. Determined to avoid pricey airport transfers and stay true to our budget travel, we opted for public transport. Mama, our self-appointed trip planner, confidently said that we were taking the bus. To catch the bus from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, or KLIA for short, to KL Central, the heart of the city CBD, start by heading to the airport's bus station where all the coaches depart. Look for the ticket kiosks scattered around the area. They're easy to spot and there are plentiful of them. She rummaged through her wallet, pulling out leftover Malaysian ringgit from our 2019 trip like buried treasure. Only for us to discover that the ticket kiosk at KLIA had gone fully cashless. Of course. You can purchase your fare directly at these self-service machines which accept card payments only. But, bless her, she'd come prepared with an international debit card. Of course, this meant extra foreign transaction fees. For fellow travelers wondering how to navigate this, here's how to buy bus tickets from KLIA to Kuala Lumpur CBD. The process is easy. Just follow the on-screen instructions to select your destination. Choose a time and seat and complete your booking. The bus tickets cost us 15 Malaysian ringgit for adult and 10 Malaysian ringgit for child. Yes, Mama's thrilled because I still qualify as a child here. Though as I mentioned earlier, airlines definitely don't see it that way. She's just more than happy to have a 5 ringgit discount. If you need help, there's usually a friendly uncle stationed near the kiosks who can guide you through the process. That said, the kiosks are designed to be user-friendly, so most travelers can navigate them independently. Once you've got your ticket, check the departure board for your gate number and you'll be on your way to KL Central in no time. Consider booking online before your trip through reliable sites like redbus.my or busonlineticket.com because these are the same platforms Mama used for her Malaysia travels. We're not sponsored, but they're just genuinely useful. With tickets finally in hand, we made our way to the boarding area where Mama couldn't help but admire the sleek brand new airport pushcarts. So polished and modern compared to what we're used to back in the Philippines. Why can't our airports have these? We were half joking, but we were fully serious. The smallest things make you miss home. We'll be there hours later. Or wish home would level up. We boarded the bus, ready for a smooth ride into the city, only to be hit with a wall of smooth, early morning traffic. Oh no! The irony in that is that it's not smooth. Uh-oh. Our quick transfer turned into a slow crawl. Should have just paid for the train. But hey, budget travel means embracing the chaos, right? Ha! We slept through it because we were on a red-eye flight. Oh, by the way, Mama's GoPro footage from the trip corrupted like a classic tech fail. Just when we thought we'd actually documented everything properly, the files vanished. We managed to scrape together a few phone clips instead. Now, here we are at Hoko Hainam Kopitiam, our first real stop in Malaysia. There was a queue outside, so we expected a long wait, but we were seated surprisingly quickly. I guess the Kopitiam had plenty of tables and chairs outside. When we stepped in, the aroma of roasted coffee beans and kaya toast hit us. Like BAM! And of course Mama, a certified coffee addict. And she'd been dreaming of this since our last trip. Kopitiam is a term used in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and parts of southern Thailand that refers to a traditional coffee shop or casual eatery. We seated and ordered our food. The Kopitiam's ambience transports you back in time, with its stunning interior decor evoking the nostalgic charm of Malaysia's bygone era. The atmosphere is simply captivating. We ordered this simple Malaysian-style coffee and kaya toast. I ordered cold Milo and prawn noodle soup. how to prepare this classic Malaysian-style runny eggs and kaya toast. First, take a fresh egg and gently crack it open into a shallow saucer, just like this one. The goal is to keep the yolks intact, just like how Mama likes them, while letting the egg whites blend in with the seasonings. Next, condiments already set on the table for the soft-boiled eggs. Add a drizzle of light soy sauce and a pinch or so of ground white pepper into the saucer. These ingredients enhance the egg's natural richness without overpowering their delicate flavor. Give the mixture a gentle swirl to combine the seasonings with the egg whites, but be careful not to break the yolks unless you prefer them fully mixed. Now make sure your kaya toast is within easy reach. The crisp buttery toast slathered with sweet coconut jam or kaya, and dip it into the egg mixture, ensuring it soaks up the runny whites and creamy yolk. If you miss scooping up, just use a teaspoon to drizzle it over the bread. Let the toast bathe in the egg mixture, soaking up every bit of its rich velvety goodness. Each bite has a perfect balance of textures and flavors. The contrast between the sweet kaya and the savory eggs is an irresistible flavor combination. Keep dipping and savoring each bite until your plate is clean. Dip, soak, and enjoy over and over until the last delicious morsel is gone. And don't forget to sip a hot coffee in between. This simple combination of eggs and toast is actually a balanced meal. A coffee, thick, rich, deep, and aromatic, is the kind that you can only experience in a kopitiam. It's a bold flavor jolting you awake. More than just a meal, a morning ritual that ensures you start your day right. Soup, on the other hand, the broth is the star, deeply aromatic with a robust prawn essence. The noodles, I chose yellow noodles, springy and well cooked, while the topping succulent prawns and sometimes crispy fried shallots adds texture. It's not the fanciest prawn meal, but it's the kind of bowl that feels like warm in your stomach after a long haul flight, and the price is reasonable for the quality. If you're in the mood for a comforting, fuss-free prawn noodles, Hokkau's version won't disappoint. Great for a quick, satisfying meal, though prawn mee enthusiasts might still seek out more specialized stalls. Oh, by the way, did you know that the second tallest building in the world is right here? That's Merdeka 118, standing proud at 678.9 meters, a glittering addition to KL's skyline. Its sleek, diamond-like facade is hard to miss, but as impressive as it is, we're not stopping there today. Off we go to the next destination. Now, we're heading to the most iconic landmark of them all. The Petronas Twin Towers. These twin giants once held the title of the world's tallest buildings from 1998 to 2004, and they're still the tallest twin towers on the planet. The sky bridge connecting them on the 41st and 42nd floors, pure engineering magic.
Ano ka kaya natitiis ni Bambam?
Ayan o, ganyan si Mangot.
Alright, we've got our steps. Time to move on. The towers shimmer behind us as we hop back into the road again.
Yutan niya balik dengan tapi ada tak?
The next adventure is always just around the corner, and sometimes the best recommendations come from the people who know a place best. Since we were already here in the city, my cousin, Ate Kaisel, has been a resident here for what feels like forever, and she decided to surprise us with a lunch. She took us to this restaurant where her husband is the operations manager.
Yeah.
They guided us to our table right as our stomachs were beginning to remind us it was time for a serious meal. And let me tell you, we didn't just get a table, we got served. And I mean that in the most literal VIP way possible. We arrived at the next restaurant named Nero, not knowing what to expect beyond it being an Italian place. Any uncertainty we had immediately melted away the moment we stepped inside. The hospitality was absolutely top-notch from the very first second. The ambiance was this perfect blend of welcoming and chic. Think cozy, well-decorated home, but with the stylish modern edge. It was exactly the kind of place you want to settle into after a morning to lunch of exploring in Kuala Lumpur. The culinary journey began with the starter, what I believe was a freshly baked focaccia. It arrived with little sides of vibrant green pesto, a rich tomato dip, and sharp black olives. But the food was just the beginning. Next to arrive was a masterpiece of simplicity and flavor, this gorgeous ball of burrata. I think that's how it's pronounced.
It's pronounced burrata. Burrata. Burrata.
It was drizzled with extra virgin olive oil and what I believed was a rich, sweet, caramelized balsamic vinegar, which they poured over the top of the table. Nice presentation, right? The creamy cheese sat on a bright bed of peppery arugula and sweet cherry tomatoes mixed with, I didn't know what kind of sauce, but it was really good. All finished with crunchy, crumbled croutons. Each element on the plate worked in perfect harmony. Mix of textures and tastes that was absolutely divine.
Masarap yan. Nice, this is nice.
Alin, ito rin favorite ko dito.
Burrata? Ah, talaga? May ka talaga sa
To complement Mama's experience, the bartender highly recommended a classic Italian cocktail for Mama, an Aperol Spritz. It was a vibrant orange hue drink mixed with Prosecco, Aperol, and a splash of soda, garnished with a fresh slice of orange. It looked so refreshing. And as always, this is just a visual description for you viewers, because kids like me had to stick with the non-alcoholic menu, and then I just asked for water. Then, the star of the show arrived, the pappardelle with truffle mushroom.
Pappardelle, pappardelle, pappardelle.
The menu boasted a tender Australian lamb shank that had been braised for a full 12 hours until it fell effortlessly off the bone. This rich, deeply flavorful sauce was then tossed with wide, ribbon-like pappardelle pasta, perfectly designed to hold onto every bit of the savory sauce. We didn't leave a single trace of the burrata. It was that delicious.
Wow!
Next, the Pollo Ayam Milanese, aka chicken cutlets. This features a free-range chicken thigh, a brilliant alternative to breast meat, coated in panko breadcrumbs, topped with shredded Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and truffle mushroom sauce as a dipping sauce. The chicken thigh was far more juicy and flavorful, coated in a wonderfully crisp, golden, and incredibly light crust that provides crunch without feeling heavy or greasy. The minuscule shredding of the Parmigiano Reggiano cheese that melts on contact with the mouth, sharp, salty, amplifying its flavor. All with the truffle mushroom sauce. This isn't just a dip, it's an aromatic umami packed for the crispy chicken and transforms the entire dish into another dish. You know what I mean.
Ito yung course na linabas din niya nun. Tapos good portioning pa, ang dami. 3 lang kami. Tipidin mo lahat, wag ang pagkain. Ganun siya.
Can you take a money for one? Please, huh?
Pistachio. After
Okay.
you eat it.
You want to eat first or waiting for the plan?
Oh, wow.
But I will just...
Oh, I love that.
To complete the meal, Mama ordered the gelato artigianale, or artisanal gelato in her favorite flavor, pistachio. The rich nutty sweetness of the artisanal gelato was the perfect creamy counterpoint to the savory courses. As our wonderful lunch comes to a close, we truly want to express our deepest thanks to you, Kuya Tenesh, for graciously accommodating us and giving us the opportunity to experience this incredible restaurant. It was a genuine pleasure to be welcomed into your care and to enjoy the amazing food and atmosphere you've created when we were there. Please believe me when I say that your warm welcome and exceptional hospitality meant so much to us and are very much appreciated. Thank you for making our visit not just a meal, but a memorable experience.
Parang ano sa tatay niya, hindi niya magbigay. Gusto niya ako magbigay.
They all finished this entire meal with a cup of coffee, and I just drank water because that was my choice.
Honey, today you got 3 Google review free.
Yes! Of course! How many?
Now it's the time to say, see you soon again, Ate Kaisel. Though our layover was brief, it was so much more than a stop between flights. It was a whirlwind of rich experiences and a meaningful conversation, all thanks to you. From the moment you fetched us from the bustling KL Central bus terminal, you took charge and transformed a few hours into a personalized tour of the city. Yeah, because you've been here more than half of your life. Immediately launching us our first authentic food adventure of an unforgettable day. We packed a stunning amount into those precious hours. You showed us again the vibrant charm of Jalan Petaling before the stalls even opened, marveling at the majestic Petronas towers, and you were so game to laugh with us while we filmed those silly TikTok trending videos. The incredible late lunch at Nero was, without a doubt, the culinary highlight of our entire trip. And now here you are, completing the cycle of your incredible generosity by personally driving us to the airport for our next flight. It's a profound feeling to realize that exploring this place becomes infinitely richer and warmer when you're welcomed by family. You made us feel at home in a foreign land, even on short notice, turning what could have been a lonely transit into a heartfelt reunion. Ate Kaisel, we truly thought we would be lucky to see you for a quick coffee. As an OFW yourself, we know all too well how demanding your schedule is and how precious your days off are. Those rare moments meant for rest and for gathering the strength needed for the week of work ahead. That's why the effort you made, sacrificing your valuable downtime, means more to us than you could possibly imagine. Our time with you also brings a bittersweet reflection. Sometimes we just wish the motherland could provide for all her children so Filipinos wouldn't need to leave home and family to build a decent living elsewhere. But since the reality is what it is, there's a unique comfort in finding pieces of home abroad, in the embrace of relatives like you who make a foreign country feel a little less foreign and a lot more like family. But the greatest gift you gave us was your time. Thank you for sharing your day with us, for your laughter, and for turning a simple layover into a cherished memory we will carry with us long after this journey ends. But as we part ways, we're choosing not to see this as a final farewell. Instead, I'm holding on to the hope that this is simply an opportunity to say hello again someday soon.
See you next year. Punta kayo dito sa Kasalan.
Pupunta kami sa kasal mo. Basta, inform mo kami ha.
Sabihan ko kayo ng bye-bye.
Balik ka na, bye. Miss ka na, bye.
How many branches do you have? How many branches do you have? You're a dentist, now you're a barista. We already thought to a lonely walk through the airport to the pre-departure area. That's when a familiar, vibrant color of green and yellow, it was a potato corner stall, and I couldn't believe it. It feels like this beloved fry spot is literally on every corner of the world we traveled to. Except Australia. Tayo ng sour cream. Sour cream and onion. Kuha tayo ng sour cream and onion, please. Please. I immediately begged Mama to get me an order of my ultimate favorite, the iconic sour cream and onion flavor, which I genuinely believe is one of the best potato fries on the earth. I will hear no competition if it's potato corner. To her adventurous spirit, Mama decided to a local experience and opted for something completely new, the spicy mala flavor. It was the perfect contrast to my classic choice, how even a Filipino now global brand can offer a unique localized taste of the place you were in. Despite being the only one working behind the counter, the lady preparing for our fries handled the rush with efficiency. A steady stream of customers had formed, and yet she moved with calm and managing multiple orders without ever seeming flustered.
What's your number, Bettina?
She handed the warm bag, steaming and escaping its scent through the bag of fries. We made a quick dash towards our gate. We made it just in time for boarding. Now, settled in and ready for takeoff to begin the next leg of our journey.
The guests are from Malaysia flight AK584 to Manila. Please move on the row 1 to 7, 19, 20 and also 30 reserved for hosting guests only. To speed up the boarding process, with your kind cooperation to be seated according to the queue. Selamat datang bertemu, selamat datang ke penerbangan. Some information for you at the present moment. We're just waiting for the cargo room to be completed as well as the catering services to be unloaded onto the aircraft. In the meantime,
belt by pulling on the buckle strap. To unfasten, lift the metal flap. Whenever the seatbelt sign is...
The plane accelerates down the runway, and I absolutely cannot wait to see the motherland again.
A few moments later.
We just landed in Manila after an incredibly long but meaningful layover and a long flight. By the way, one of my biggest flexes is this Asian squat. I thought everyone could do it until my classmates saw me and asked how I can comfortably sit in this position. The best they can manage is this twisting cross-leg squat thing. We're running on zero energy, and we thought Grab food would be the ultimate solution. And you know what the only right answer is for your first meal back in the Philippines? There is no other choice than Jollibee, and I had one-piece chicken joy for me. Since we were so hungry and tired, there was no feeling of that moment. We just ate and we rested after. Good night! The next day, we ate the leftover chicken joy. I know it was cold, but when you're hungry, you resort to more accessible food. In the hotel lobby, Mama went to check out our ride, and guess what she found? A kakanin vendor. She bought some of the vendor's kakanin and asked me to try. I definitely advise you to try some of the kakanin like sapin spin, kuchinta, and puto when you see one. It's really good. We were packed and ready for the next flight again. Alright, we're back at the airport again, killing time before our flight to Legazpi. The best way to do that? This is the perfect distraction from the endless gate waiting.
A few moments later.
The biggest question on everyone's mind is always the same. Will we actually get to see her? Usually hiding behind the veil of clouds. You just have to hope you get lucky. But this time, we absolutely did. As we looked out the window, there she was in all her glory, a breathtaking, sweeping aerial view of the Mayon Volcano. Clouds gently drift and swirl around the volcano's peak, but the summit remains perfectly clear and visible. She didn't shy away at all. It was giving us this breathtaking, postcard-like perfect view before we'd even landed. If you're yearning to witness this breathtaking spectacle of Mayon Volcano from 30,000 feet, a bit of planning is essential to maximize your chances. The key is securing the seat. When booking your flight, ensure your seat is located on the right side of the aircraft, facing the direction of travel. You can either request a window seat at check-in or, for a greater guarantee, pay a small fee to select your preferred seat in advance during the booking process. This simple step is crucial as it positions you directly over the eastern side of the aircraft, offering an aerial view of the Bicol region's iconic landscape. However, even with the perfect seat secured, nature ultimately holds the final card. The majestic Mayon is famously shy and often cloaks herself in clouds. Her perfect cone can be elusive, and if she chooses to hide on the day of your flight, she will remain completely hidden from view despite your best preparations. This element of chance only adds to her mystique, making a clear, unobstructed sighting all the more magical and rewarding for the fortunate few who catch her on a bright, cloudless day. Touchdown, Daraga Airport! After a tricycle ride later, we arrived, and at last we are home.
Hello! Hi! Hello! Hi! Bantot ako!
Ay, Badong! Kalabas ka!
Ilagay natin, Kuya Bernie.
Ay!
Huwag ka babasok! Ay, huwag ka lumabas. Bahala na sa'yo si Kuya Bernie.
Ay, Mima!
Hello, Chris! Laki-laki na ni Baby Four! Ang tangkad na nga eh. Bebe!
So tangkad na, baby! I thought you were taller!
Hello!
Ayun, may nakikita na.
Ayan si Aoy!
Hello!
Hindi mo takadiyan si Okay. Ko yata. Kilala ka pa ni Bart. Kilala ka pa ni Bart. Oh my gosh, you're so tall na, baby. Magkamukha kayo. Dali, kain na kayo. Nakita mo.
Ay, mahal. Kung sila.